Think your $2 coin is only worth face value? Some of these ordinary-looking coins are selling for over $170,000 at auction, and people are cashing in without even realizing it. Let's find out if you've got one of these hidden treasures. First up, 1988 Australian $2 coin. In 1988, Australia witnessed a remarkable change in the way currency was handled, a change that still echoes in our pockets and purses to this day. It was the year that marked the end of the $2 paper note and the introduction of the now iconic $2 coin, but what began as a necessary economic shift quickly evolved into a major moment in numismatic history. As the first ever $2 coin issued in Australia, the 1988 version holds a special place in collectors' hearts. Struck in aluminum bronze, weighing 6.6 grams, and measuring just 20.5 millimeters in diameter. The coin might be small in size, but it's big in story. The obverse, like most coins of the time, features the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael Macluf. But it's the reverse that catches everyone's attention. Designed by Horst Hane, it features an Aboriginal elder, surrounded by the Southern Cross and native Australian flora. It's one of the few coins that incorporate indigenous imagery in such a prominent and dignified manner, something that has been praised in both numismatic and cultural circles. One small but widely misunderstood detail is the tiny HH initials you'll find on the elder's shoulder. Many people falsely believe that these initials are rare or indicate an error coin. In reality, HHC simply stands for Horst Hane, the designer, and all 1988 and 1989 $2 coins have this mark. Unfortunately, social media rumors in recent years have led people to believe these are worth thousands of dollars, when in truth they are quite common. With a massive mintage of over 160 million coins, the 1988 $2 coin was distributed widely, meaning that the vast majority of circulated examples are only worth their face value. However, where it starts getting interesting is with coins in mint state, or those that are uncirculated or proof examples. Coin collectors, particularly those looking to build complete date sets in the highest grades, have been known to pay impressive amounts for coins in top condition. Coins graded MS66 by PCGS or NGC often sell at auction for around AUD 350 to 400. Examples graded MS67 tend to fetch between UD 5,000 and 7,000, depending on eye appeal and demand at the time of sale. An ultra-high-grade MS68 specimen can bring in upwards of AUD 12,000, although these are far less common. Occasionally, proof versions from mint sets, especially those in pristine condition, have been seen selling for AUD 15,000 or more in collector circles. In very rare cases, error coins such as off-center strikes or rotated dies have been sold for prices between AUD $2,000 and $4,000, depending on the severity and uniqueness of the error. Next up, 1989 Australian $2 coin. The year 1989 was a turning point for the newly introduced $2 coin. After the initial wave of excitement and massive production in 1988, the Royal Australian Mint drastically reduced the mintage numbers in 1989, issuing just over 28 million coins, a dramatic drop compared to the 160 million the year before. This lower mintage makes the 1989 coin immediately more appealing to collectors looking for semi-scarce issues in the series. Like its predecessor, the 1989 Australian $2 coin was struck in aluminum bronze, carried the same portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Raphael Macluf, and bore the same iconic reverse design of the Aboriginal elder by Horst Hane. The initials HH also still appear on this coin, just as they did on the 1988 issue. But what makes 1989 truly significant is that this is the final year that the HH initials appeared on any Australian $2 coin. That detail alone has turned the 1989 version into a key date in the series. Once collectors learned that 1990 coins no longer had the HH initials, interest in the 1989 surged. People began scrambling to secure high-grade examples to lock away in their collections. And although 31 million coins were struck, Many were heavily circulated, meaning uncirculated and mint state examples are increasingly hard to find today. Now here's where things get financially interesting. While average circulated 1989, $2 coins are still worth around face value, maybe a bit more if in nice condition. It's the high-grade uncirculated examples that start to fetch strong prices on the collector market. Coins graded MS66 generally sell for around AUD 18,000 to 25,000, though some have crossed AUD $3,000 at times of heightened demand. When you move up to MS67, auction results have consistently hit the AUD $34,000 to $35,000 range, but it's the ultra-scarce 68 and MS69 coins that command the premium attention. While MS68 coins can sell for AUD $39,000 to $4,000, only a few MS69s have ever been recorded, and those coins have reached prices around AUD $45,000 to $46,000, depending on the buyer and auction house. Proof coins from 1989, mint sets, while not circulation issues, are also highly sought after. These typically sell between AUD $2,000 and $25,000, depending on condition and packaging. Occasionally, error coins surface on the market. While not as frequent as 1988, some examples have shown rotational misalignment or plancher flaws. These can sell anywhere from AUD $35,000 to $4,000, especially if the error is obvious and dramatic. The 1989 Australian $2 coin stands as the final farewell to Horst Hahn's engraved initials and the beginning of a more minimalist phase in Australian coinage. For many, it's a sentimental collector's item, the bridge between the explosive debut of the $2 coin and its long-term evolution into everyday Aussie change. If you're lucky enough to find one in your change, check its condition. It might be worth more than you think. Next up, 1990 Australian $2 coin. The 1990 Australian $2 coin may be easy to overlook, but for serious collectors, it's one of the most fascinating early issues in the series. This year marks a quiet but critical shift in the $2 coin's evolution. With a drastically reduced mintage of only 10.3 million coins, the 1990 release is not only one of the lowest mintage years for the denomination, but also represents a key visual and historical turning point. On the surface, everything seems familiar. The coin is still struck in aluminum bronze, still carries the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II by Raphael Maklouf on the obverse, and still features the Aboriginal elder on the reverse. But look closer. There's a subtle change that marks a new chapter. The small HH, initials that appeared on both the 1988 and 1989 versions, are now gone. No more engraved tribute to designer Horst Hahn. No more tiny letters nestled within the elder's cloak. The removal of these initials has sparked intense interest among collectors, especially those seeking to build complete varieties, or who appreciate nuanced differences in coin design. And then there's the rarity factor. With only 10.3 million coins struck, just 1/16th, the number produced in 1988, the 1990 $2 coin is significantly harder to find, especially in uncirculated or mint condition. This combination of low mintage, design change, and collector awareness makes it a valuable coin in more ways than one. Circulated 1990 coins in average condition typically remain close to face value, but the real value lies in high-grade examples. Uncirculated rolls of 1990 coins are rare, and those that exist often command strong premiums. Coins graded MS66 have sold at auction for AUD $14,000 to $15,500, while MS67 examples are typically found in the AUD $16,000 to $19,000 range. If you're lucky enough to come across a certified MS68, these can reach prices of AUD $2,000 to $25,000. As of recent years, only a handful of such high-grade specimens have ever made it to public sale. Proof examples from official mint sets also remain highly desirable. These can fetch AUD $25,000 to $3,000, particularly if the original mint packaging is intact and the coin is free from toning or haze. Perhaps most exciting of all are error coins, which are particularly rare for the 1990 issue. Some rotated die errors have been discovered, One such coin sold in late 2024 for a remarkable AUD 72,000, owing to its extreme misalignment and strong condition. The cracks, cuts, and off-center strikes from this year can bring in anywhere between AUD $2,000 and $5,000, based on severity. For collectors, the 1990 Australian $2 coin is more than just another year. It is the first year without HH, the lowest mintage among the early trio, and a rising star in graded auctions. It represents a subtle evolution in design, a low-key rarity hiding in plain sight, and a crucial building block in any serious $2 coin collection. Next up, 991 Australian $2 coin. As we move deeper into the early 1990s, the Australian $2 coin continues to quietly evolve, not in appearance, but in mintage, rarity, and collector intrigue. The 1991 Australian $2 coin, while similar in visual design to its predecessors, carries with it the subtle importance of being part of the foundational years of this denomination. And for collectors, these early years are anything but ordinary. The coin retains all its familiar design elements. On the obverse, we have the regal portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Raphael Macluf, still used on Australian currency until 1998. The reverse continues to feature the famous Aboriginal elder, surrounded by native Australian flora and the Southern Cross, a powerful tribute by engraver Horst Hahn. But unlike the first 2 years, the initials HH no longer appear beneath the shoulder. The 1991 issue is part of the post-HH design era. Now here's where things get interesting for collectors. The mintage of the 1991 $2 coin is reported at just over 25 million, significantly lower than the massive inaugural 1988 figure, and well below many later years. However, most of these coins went straight into circulation, and that means finding examples in mint condition today is increasingly difficult. For everyday spenders, the 1991 coin is likely just pocket change. But for collectors, it represents one of the semi-key dates in the series, especially in higher grades. Let's talk values. Circulated 1991. Coins in average condition still fetch around face value, or slightly above, usually AUD $300 to $500, depending on eye appeal. But prices start climbing steeply in uncirculated condition. Coins graded MS66 at auction have sold for AUD $15,000 to $16,000, while MS67 examples fetch between AUD $15,000 and $17,000. Rare MS68 examples, with perfectly struck features and flawless fields, have reached as high as AUD $25,000 to $3,000. Now, for those who were lucky enough to preserve unopened mint rolls from 1991, those rolls can now command AUD $27,000 to $3,000, especially if verified to be original and unopened. What about errors? A few known rotated die strikes and off-center coins have been discovered from 1991. These sometimes appear in auctions and tend to sell in the range of AUD to $5,000, depending on the nature of the flaw and overall coin condition. So what makes the 1991 $2 coin special? It's not just about how it looks. It's about where it sits in the timeline. It's a survivor of a low production year, a coin often overlooked by casual collectors, and a must-have for anyone assembling a complete set of Australian $2 coins. Sometimes the real treasures in a collection are the ones hiding in plain sight. Next up, 1995 Australian $2 coin. When we arrive at the 1995 Australian $2 coin, we encounter one of the most elusive and underrated treasures of the entire $2 coin series. It's a coin that appears mundane on the surface, yet its low mintage, quiet release, and current collector demand make it an absolute standout, especially among those who appreciate the thrill of the hunt. Let's begin with the basics, just like its siblings. The 1995 $2 coin features the same reverse design created by Horst Hahn, the Aboriginal elder with native flora and the Southern Cross. This powerful and respectful portrait has become one of the most enduring reverse motifs in Australian decimal coinage. The obverse still bears the Queen's third portrait by Raphael Macluf, consistent with all coins from 1985 to 1998. But the story here is not in the design, It's in the numbers. Only 485 million 1995 $2 coins were ever minted, making this one of the lowest mintage regular issue $2 coins in Australian history. That figure alone propels it into semi-key or even key date status. Unlike other years with mintage in the tens of millions, the 1995 issue was relatively scarce from the very beginning. Because of this limited release, the 1995 $2 coin was not widely circulated. Most Australians went years without ever seeing one, and even today it's not uncommon to hear collectors say, "I've never found a 95 in the wild." Many of the coins that did enter circulation were heavily used, making high-grade examples especially rare. Let's look at auction values. If you're holding a circulated 1995 $2 coin in decent condition, you're likely looking at a value of AUD $400 to $800. However, coins in uncirculated or near uncirculated condition begin to fetch impressive premiums. Is 5 to MSK6 examples regularly sell in the AUD $45,000 to $47,000 range. But once you step up to MS67, the value increases rapidly. Recent auctions show sales around AUD $5,000 to $53,000. A true MS68 specimen, virtually flawless, can bring in AUD $62,000 to $68,000. Proof versions, although not intended for circulation, can be found in mint sets. These tend to trade at AUD $1,000 to $15,000, depending on packaging and condition. Error coins from 1995 are extremely rare, and because of the already low mintage, they are doubly valuable. In 2023, a double-struck error from 1995 sold at a private auction for AUD $67,000, highlighting the intense interest from serious collectors. If you're assembling a full year-by-year collection of Australian $2 coins, this is one coin you can't skip. It may not look different to the naked eye, but its scarcity, historical context, and rising auction results make it one of the most sought-after $2 coins of the 1990s. So next time you come across your change, take a second look. That little 1995 coin could be the unsung hero of your collection. Next up, 1999 Australian $2 coin. Now we arrive at the 1999 Australian $2 coin, and while it may seem like a more recent issue to some collectors, the truth is it's now over 2 decades old. That's right, the 1999 $2 coin has quietly aged into collectability. And when we start peeling back the layers of production, design, and mintage, we uncover yet another fascinating chapter in the story of this humble yet enduring coin. By 1999, the Australian public was well accustomed to the small, gold-colored $2 coin, introduced more than a decade earlier. It had fully replaced the paper banknote, had survived the 1990s economic reforms, and had become a fixture in every wallet and cash register. The design remained unchanged, the queen on the front, the elder on the back, a symbol of stability in an ever-changing world. The obverse now used the Ian Rank Broadley portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, which replaced Raphael Maglouf's design in 1999. This marked a subtle yet important shift in Australia's decimal coinage. The reverse, however, still proudly displayed Horst Hahn's powerful image of the Aboriginal elder, etched in quiet dignity across millions of pieces of legal tender. The total mintage for 1999 was just under 36 million coins, placing it in the mid-range among circulating years. While not a low mintage key date like 1995, the 1999 coin has become increasingly collectible for a few specific reasons. First, this is the first $2 coin to feature the Rank Broadley effigy of the Queen, a fact that makes it a transitional type year for those building type sets or effigy collections. Second, as more Australians engage in coin collecting, older coins in excellent condition are becoming harder to find. And the 1999 issue, now well over 25 years old, is entering the collectible sweet spot. Let's talk auction values. Circulated 1999 2 coins, unless in exceptional shape, are generally worth AUD $200 to $400. But coins in higher uncirculated grades, especially those pulled from mint sets or well-preserved, roll's eyes begin to command attention. Is 5 to MSK6? Coins often sell for AUD $25,000 to $45,000. MS67? Examples are typically valued around AUD $6,000 to 90,000, and the ultra-rare MS-68s have sold for AUD 30,000 to 70,000, depending on overall quality and market timing. Original mint rolls of 1999 coins, if sealed and verified, have been known to fetch prices up to AUD $6,000 to 75,000, particularly among serious collectors or investors seeking quantity and quality. And yes, error coins exist too. Rotated dies, clipped planchets, and off-center strikes from 1999 have surfaced, and prices can range from AUD 15,000 to 55,000, depending on severity and grade. A rare double-struck 1999 coin sold in 2024 for over AUD 70,000, attracting fierce bidding online. In summary, the 1999 $2 coin is not just a transitional piece, it's a hidden gem. It's the bridge between the old and new portrait eras, the last $2 coin of the 20th century. Next up, 2001 Australian $2 coin. The year 2001 was a year of celebration, reflection and national pride for Australia. It marked the 100th anniversary of the Federation of Australia. It's a monumental milestone in the country's journey. But while most of the commemorative attention was captured by special 50-cent and $1 coins, the humble $2 coin quietly continued its presence with a standard issue release. And yet the 2001 Australian $2 coin carries its own quiet significance and emerging appeal among collectors. Visually, the coin remained unchanged from previous years. On the obverse, we see the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II by Ian Rank Broadley, which had replaced the previous portrait by Raphael Macloof in 1999. The reverse features the same beloved Aboriginal elder, designed by Horst Hahn, a lasting tribute to Australia's Indigenous heritage. The mintage for 2001 was approximately 25 million coins, putting it in the mid-low range among standard circulation issues. While this isn't extremely rare, it's not as common as coins from the late 1980s or early 1990s. As time moves forward, coins from the early 2000s are gaining attention, especially in uncirculated condition, as many in circulation are showing heavy wear after 2 decades of use. When it comes to values, circulated 2001 coins in average condition typically trade for AUD $200 to $300. However, the real interest lies in mint state examples. Coins graded MS-65 by PCGS or NGC sell for AUD $2,500 to $3,500, while MS-66 examples tend to go for AUD $14,000 to $15,500. A rare MS-67 coin with near-perfect luster and sharp strike can command anywhere from AUD $18,000 to $2,000. Very few 2001 $2 coins have been certified above this level, making high grades a priority target for registry set collectors. Roll collectors will also find value here. Original mint rolls of 2001 coins can sell for between AUD $25,500 and $27,500, depending on the seller, packaging integrity, and market conditions. Though no special commemorative version was struck for this denomination in 2001, its quiet endurance during a year of national significance adds historical depth. No major errors have been widely documented for this year, but a small number of die cracks and minor rotation errors have been seen, fetching anywhere between AUD $22,000 and $25,000, depending on severity. The 2001 $2 coin is a snapshot of Australia. In its centenary year, not commemorative, but foundational, it reminds collectors that even the standard coins in our pockets carry the weight of history. Next up, 2002 Australian $2 coin. By 2002, the Australian $2 coin had become a trusted fixture in every wallet, cash drawer, and parking meter nationwide. It had quietly assumed the role once held by the $2 note, and over time, it had become part of the country's economic heartbeat. But for numismatists and sharp-eyed collectors, the 2002 Australian $2 coin offers more than just purchasing power. It offers a glimpse into scarcity and rising collector interest. At first glance, there's nothing new to report. The coin maintains the traditional design. The Ian Rank Broadley effigy of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, and the Aboriginal Elder on the reverse in the consistent artistic legacy of Horst Hannah. There were no special editions. No commemoratives for this year in the 2 denomination, just the standard release. But it's the mintage that makes 2002 stand out. Just 5.8 million coins were issued for circulation. Notably low figure that instantly makes this year one of the scarcer modern issues. It's a similar mintage to the key date 1995 coin, but the 2002 version often flies under the radar. It's a sleeper, and savvy collectors know it, because so many of these coins entered daily use. High-grade examples are tough to find. Most 2002 coins in circulation today are heavily worn, often discolored and show signs of years of wear. This makes finding mint state coins a real challenge, and highly rewarding. So let's talk auction values. Circulated 2002, $2 coins are usually worth AUD $300 to $500, depending on condition. But uncirculated examples start rising fast in value. Is 5 to MS6 coins are selling between AUD $4,000 and $6,000, and MS67 examples, if you can find one, are reaching AUD $1,000 to $13,000. Certified MS68 specimens, although rare, have sold for AUD $16,000 to $21,000 at online auctions in the past year. Mint rolls from 2002 are incredibly hard to find. When one surfaces, it can command AUD $18,000 or more, thanks to the low mintage and growing collector demand. Error coins are exceedingly rare for this year, but one reported double rim strike was sold privately for AUD $2,500. Even small die cracks or slight planche flaws in this year can add AUD $1,000 or more to the right coin. The 2002 coin is what collectors call a low mintage sleeper. It doesn't scream rare, it whispers it. And those who listen carefully and collect wisely will find themselves holding a rising star of the Australian decimal series. Next up, 2005 Australian $2 coin. When you hold a 2005 Australian $2 coin in your hand, you may not feel anything different. It looks like all the others. Same Aboriginal elder, same queen, same golden shimmer. But that's the deceptive magic of this particular year, because despite its unassuming appearance, the 2005 issue is one of the most notoriously scarce modern $2 coins ever released into circulation. Let's start with the number that matters most to collectors. Only 5.8 million coins were minted for general use in 2005, matching the low production total of the 2002 issue. But here's the twist. Far fewer mint rolls and fewer high-grade examples have survived in the collector community. That makes it even harder to find a clean, sharp 2005 coin today. The obverse carries the familiar Ian Rank Broadley effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, and the reverse continues to feature Horst Hannah's Aboriginal elder, a design that by now had become an icon of everyday commerce. No changes, no commemoratives, just one of the hardest coins in the modern decimal era to track down in top condition. So what does all this mean for value? In circulated condition, the 2005 $2 coin can sell for AUD $140 to $160, though even well-worn examples have been listed and sold online for over AUD $100 due to low supply. In uncirculated or mint state condition, the value skyrockets. Coins graded MS65 sell for AUD $5,000 to $8,000, while MS66 examples routinely fetch AUD $9,000 to $5,000. MS67 coins, extremely hard to find, can bring AUD $1,000 to $12,000, and MS68s, though rarely seen, have sold for AUD $15,000 to $16,000. Unopened mint rolls from 2005 are among the rarest for any $2 coin. In recent years, sealed rolls in top condition have sold for AUD $18,000 or more at auctions and collector conventions. Although not known for dramatic mint errors, a few off-center strikes and planche anomalies from 2005 have surfaced, some selling for AUD $23,000 to $25,000, depending on the uniqueness and eye appeal. The 2005 $2 coin isn't flashy, but it's fierce. It's the kind of coin that long-time collectors look for, not because it's famous, but because it's quietly rare. If you find one, especially in high grade, you've got something special. Next up, 2008 Australian $2 coin. As we near the end of the first decade of the 2000s, the 2008 Australian $2 coin stands as a transition point. It's not particularly old, yet it's becoming less common in circulation every year. It's not officially rare, yet uncirculated examples are climbing in value, and it may not have a new design. But collectors are beginning to realize just how collectible it's become. Let's begin with the core facts. The 2008 $2 coin continued to feature Queen Elizabeth II's portrait by Ian, ranked broadly on the obverse, and the iconic Aboriginal elder design by Horst Hahn on the reverse. By this point, the design had remained untouched for 20 years, a remarkable feat in modern coinage. The mintage for 2008 came in at approximately 22 million coins, making it relatively common compared to key dates like 1995 or 2005, but lower than many 1980s and 1990s releases. Most of these coins went into active circulation, meaning that finding gem-quality examples has become increasingly difficult with each passing year. So how do values hold up? A circulated 2008 $2 coin in average condition will typically sell for AUD $120 to $130, depending on where, but collectors chasing high-grade specimens are driving up demand for uncirculated coins. MS65 coins have sold for AUD $2,500 to $14,000, MS66 examples for AUD $15,000 to $17,000, and MS67 coins for AUD $19,000 to $2,000. Only a handful of MS68s have been publicly offered, and these have traded for AUD $24,000 to $29,000 based on recent auctions. Unopened mint rolls from 2008 when available sell for AUD $35,000 to $37,000, depending on condition and verification. Errors are uncommon, but when found, they perform well at auction. In 2022, a 2008 $2 coin with a dramatic die clash sold for AUD $42,000, and a small number of rotated dies and clipped planchets have appeared, usually selling between AUD $15,000 to $25,000. The 2008 $2 coin may seem ordinary, but in coin collecting, timing is everything. Coins from the early 2000s are approaching the 20-plus year mark, and that's when serious collectors start taking notice. So don't ignore it. If you find one in high grade, it could be more than just another coin. It could be your next collectible success. If you enjoyed this deep dive, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below. Thanks for watching.